Hey guys, what's going on? Brandon here with Texas Plinking. As you can see, it's a pretty fun one. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already been teased this and you guys have been asking me for a video. Of course it was coming, but here it is. So this is, in fact, my first 338 Lapua build, precision build. For as much as I love long range shooting, of course I have this channel, so you guys should assume I love guns, but long range shooting, I've said a few times, is among just about my favorite form of shooting. So considering that, to think I've never had a 338 Lapua is interesting, but if I wanted one, and if I was gonna get one, I wanted it to be done right. And I might be the only crazy one who does this. I actually have on my phone a little tab of the guns I want, builds I want, or out of the box guns. And for about 2 years, in that want list was a 338 Lapua custom build in some form of an Accuracy International AX chassis system, and that's what we have here. Of course, there's a little bit more to it than just that. I want to make this talking portion kind of fun, but also brief, because at the point I'm shooting this, I've already shot at some distance. 2,000 yards, spoiler alert. When someone sees something like this, and they might not be into the subject of long range shooting and custom builds, they ask the question, who makes that? And it's a lot of manufacturers, typically. Unless you bought an out of the box AI, Accuracy International, or whatever. More often than not, it's just a lot of different components, people who make some of the best at their own thing, and then it kind of just came together. So it's a custom build. But I guess the quickest way to put it is Alamo Precision Rifles, APR. They certainly were the ones who did God's work with this one. It's a real beauty, and they put it together. As Grantham would, I say we go ahead and start from the front to the back. He would probably word that a little differently, but that's all right. Yeah, I think the barrel is a pretty good place to start, so let's go there. This is a Bartlein barrel. I never heard it pronounced, so Bartlein barrel. 26 inch with a MTU contour. The contour is the thickness, MTU. It's what would be called in the industry THICC. It's thick. Up on the very front, I've got an AAC 90T muzzle brake. The 90T is the ratcheting system. I had bought a suppressor, and you know, that's only been about a month, so I don't know how long it's gonna take till I get approved, but I got an AAC Titan QD suppressor on this. In fact, I actually have some pictures of this build with the suppressor because I went to my FFL. They already have my suppressor. I just can't take it home. And they were nice enough to let me mount it up and see what this thing looked like. Haven't shot with it, obviously. As soon as I get that thing, we're going to go ahead and hit the range again. Looking at the action, this is a Defiance Rukus Tactical. Super sweet action, man, I got to say. I don't know why I kind of developed the habit of kind of feeding it in one by one on the chamber. Certainly not with this one, man. The action is awesome. Buttery smooth. Feeds in beautifully on a 5-round mag. It's just an absolute dream to cycle. You guys will see that here momentarily. So there's that. The rail itself, I kind of like this, is integral to the actual build of the action. It's not 4 screws that put it in there. More moving components, or separate components, if you will, not moving components. You don't want that to move. And it certainly won't here because it's one piece, it's integral. 20 MOA slant, so you can allow yourself to use some more milling, get out there at some extended ranges. While they were putting that together, I was discussing with APR triggers. And I decided I'll shoot my shot with Trigger Tech. I asked them if they wanted to be part of this build, and I'm so happy they were. They offered up a Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage trigger that's new. Very new, actually. And they sent it just before it got released because it was being assembled. And so Alamo Precision Rifles went ahead and installed that for me as well. That way, when they shipped it to me, it was just ready to plop into the chassis. That came to my FFL, picked it up, and now it was ready to drop into a chassis that I already purchased. I actually tracked this one down on, I think it was Gunbroker. Paid about $1,400 for this guy because I think they stopped making this AX as well. Whenever I like something from AI, they just stop making it, just kind of how it works. But anyway, I love this chassis. It takes their Accuracy International mags here. 5 rounds for this 338 Lapua CIP mag. Very nice pistol grip here, just awesome ergonomics. Every adjustability piece you could think of for a stock or a chassis is here. Very nice. This little pad here, it's kind of like a felt little pad. I don't have it just to get more elevation. That's in the stock itself, I could adjust that. That's just for comfort. That's made by WieBad, that's WieBad Gear. They're out of College Station. Not terribly expensive, I like that quite a bit. Of course, it's folding, so style points. Now you can carry it every single day. Whatever. The barrel is of course free floated as you would expect, but it is surrounded by key mod slots, so if you want to mount rails or whatever, that way you don't have to have a heavy monolithic rail up here. If I want to put like a night clip on, all I have to do is add a rail right here and put like a my clip on right here to use my day optic. So cuts down weight, but modularity is still there. Obviously, very, very nice. This right here is a B&T Atlas Bipod. I've talked about them before. Just to do a quick micro review, what I like about it is multiple angles, so you store it away that way. I like to ride this gun in particular like this, very, very stable, very easy to keep stable as well. You can go to the standard position here, and then of course just kind of reverse that. This is on an American Defense QD mount, made in the USA. Very nice piece of kit there. You have pan and tilt, all kinds of maneuverability there. Really like that. And then of course I should probably mention this little 2-round holder. That's more so just because I'm a little silly. I like the look of it. That's made by Short Action Precision, as the name would suggest. It's kind of made to be ran with maybe a short action for a competition setup for multiple reasons. One, it's kind of nice to have like a little reserve tank of 2 extra rounds always ready to go. Also, I heard that there's like certain long-range competitions that will have a stage that needs 12 shots off, but you're only limited to a 10-round mag, so you could dump your mag, with the bolt gun, and then you got 2 on the side that you could quickly load up, don't have to do a mag reload. That's not why I have it, and it's the 338 Lapua. I simply think it's kind of cool. I have a little dope card in my scope I'll talk about in a little bit, so in my scope cap. I like the idea of having a gun that has the data right here and 2 rounds just always ready to go. Just, I don't know, I'm just a little silly like that, but 2 rounds on the side, just let people know it's the gun's hot. This is a Vortex Optics Razor HD Gen 2, specifically the 4.5 to 27 by 56. This one here happens to have the Horus H59 reticle, and this scope does a great job at making that reticle useful throughout the entire zoom range. 4.5, it's nice and fine, but you can find it. And at 27 power, it's not too fat to where it's covering up your target. It's a very, very great setup. Some of the quick points about it, locking turrets, both windage and elevation. So if I wanted to adjust something right now, I cannot. I have to pull this thing up and then start clicking. Very nice clicks. Put it back on my 0. It does have 0 stop. It lets you over rotate 0.5. Parallax on the left side, and then your illumination is hidden, kind of like the locking turret in a way. You pull that out and you have modes 1 through 11 of illumination with the off in between each one. That is the perfect setup. I really like that. Once I figured out how the bullet flies out of this thing, all the ballistics and everything, I wrote down a little card here. I'll get a close up. Wrote it on a piece of paper and then laminated it with some clear tape. We've got the Vortex Precision Matched rings, 34mm. The last thing on the Optic setup, actually, I have a little US Optics folding leveler on the side here. The way I set this up when I'm on the gun and I have that thing folded out, it's so easy to look at my reticle and then through my peripheral, just kind of look at where that bubble is, see it nice and level, and then get my shot off when I'm level. I really like that setup. All right, and with all that said, I think I'm ready to jump into the shooting portion of this video because that is what this thing is meant to do. So this was 2 days ago at the time I'm shooting this video. 2 days ago, went out to Crescent, Texas at a range called Triple C. I'm only gonna preface it very, very quickly here. Wind was kind of brutal, but it always is anyway, so I won't go too far into that. You guys will see for yourself. It could not pick its mind on which way it wanted to go. So the wind was its own thing. The temperature though, heat index got up to 109 degrees. The humidity was pretty low, so the actual temperature was 108. I had the luxury of shooting under coverage of shade, so that was nice for me. However, the ground did not have that luxury, so there were some crazy things going on. There's this one point I was looking at 2,000 yards, and I saw the brand new 2011 Staccato XC. That's how bad the Mirage was. I could go on and on with excuses, but the rifle actually did very, very well. All I'm saying is watch this video knowing the conditions, and I'm sure we're gonna go ahead and go in better conditions, probably suppressed when the weather is not so crap. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the shooting portion. What's the temperature?
The perceived temperature is 109 degrees right now.
Nice. What's the wind?
No, I don't think it's all that windy.
Bitch. No ammo sponsored today, so when I miss, I'm gonna feel it. But I will be shooting. The only thing I have shot so far, eventually I'd like to test out what works, but we're just gonna do some box ammo. Some Hornady 285 grain ELD match ammo, the white box stuff. Yeah, I'll put in a quick shot right here of some of the data. To get to 1,000 right now says, we'll see how true it is, 6.9 mils.
Giggity.
I'm good with that. I am good with that. Let's do another one. Make sure that wasn't a fluke. That was a cold bore shot at 1,000, and I'm really excited about that, but I shouldn't be because it is a 338 Lapua. So. All right, I've got some muffs on top of my in-ear foamies just because in this shed, this 338, it rings your bell a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're at 1,500 yards right now. That wind's kicking up a little bit. All right, looks like pretty similar wind. Lower end, but that's a hit. All right, I've got the distant camera in at 1 mile. You guys have seen my other long range videos, the other two from out here. X marks the spot, that is 1,760 yards. Next jump from here on is 2,000 yards. I believe I saw a little movement top right. I'm gonna go off that, but I believe I saw something top right there. That action is slick, man. Just short. Looked like good windage on that one. It's nice to see something, though. That's got to be a hit. I saw just a slight hint of red flashing glare. I think the hit indicators are red LED lights, so that looked like a hit. I think that's a hit as well. I saw it rock a little, and then I saw a little bit of red flash. That's a hit. I'm good with that. We're at 21.8 for elevation. The way my scope capped out, it was about 21.3, so I actually just dialed down to 20.8. That way I could just hold 1 mil through the reticle. Got 1 in the chamber, 5 in the mag. A lot of firepower, 2,000 yards. Let's see what we can do. That looked like good elevation. That'd be about a plate and a quarter to the right. To the right anyway. Weird wind, man. Oh, come on. 1.6 for wind. Just short. Windage was a little left, but I saw an LED light hit indicator on the left side of the plate. I'd like to come out here at a different time where it's not 108 degrees, not so crazy windy. I don't know if you guys are going to hear that. I think my truck is blocking that wind, but it's pretty brutal. We'll try it again on a better day. For now, I'm not done. I still have the itch to shoot it. Let's back it down now to 1 mile and see how that fares. Ooh, snuck a little low and right there. There we go. Well, this rifle's impressed me plenty, and at $4.50 a shot with no ammo sponsor, I might just wrap it up for now. Save the rest for another day, but man, this thing's shooting lights out, I gotta say. I think that's a good note to end it on. We'll bring it back to the house and wrap up this review. Yeah, there it is, guys. It's my first and so far only long range 338 Lapua build, and I am so happy with it. I just want to end this video with some thanks because there's quite a bit of components to this, as we know now, but I had a lot of help to put this one together, so I want to go ahead and talk about that. First one, like I had mentioned, the barreled action Alamo Precision Rifles. This is now my third build I've done with them. I have a 6.5 Creedmoor and a Renegade stock, my first ever long range custom build. I still have that gun. It is probably my most consistent, accurate gun. I can pull that out, it shoots great groups. Love that gun. I had them do a barreled action for an AICS 2.0 chassis in 308. Still have that gun, still love that gun. This is now my first from them. That's a long action 338 Lapua, way to do it. Yeah, and it's awesome, my third APR. That said, also considering what I do is kind of a public platform, they were willing to help me quite a bit here. So I had purchased this rifle from them, but they were very fair on my invoice, and for that, I really appreciate that. Very cool guys to work with, and I know for a fact I will be putting together another rifle with them because I am thrilled. 3 for 3. I love it. And as I've already said, the trigger was supplied by Trigger Tech, and I cannot thank them enough and be more happy because not only do they partner up for this one, and that in itself makes me quite happy, but the trigger itself, when I dry fired it, and then certainly 2 days ago when I got my shooting impressions with it, I was convinced right then and there that there's not another trigger in the world I would rather have in this setup. And lastly, I just want to give a big thanks to Vortex Optics. I've actually been closely affiliated with them for a little over a year at this point. I'm so thrilled about that collaboration. And regardless of the partnership, I still believe that this is the perfect scope for this setup with the zoom range, with all the specs I had already mentioned. Everything, and I think that bronze with this whole flat dark earth thing going on, I think it looks awesome. But functionally, it's certainly, I think, the perfect scope for this build the way it came to be. So that's the video on it. That was probably a little longer than I expected it to be, but yeah, with that said, that's just the first look of it. I expect plenty more content with this in the future, especially once that can comes on. But that does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one. Take care.